Hello, chat. It's just me, once again. Last time on Tyrion Cuthbert, Lord Von Sanctus accidentally shoved a guy into a vat of boiling hot chocolate, as I will continue to call it. Hello, Catnip. And to be clear, this was completely and totally an accident and not a homicide. But I'm here anyway because he decided to fake it like it was what's the word? Criminal negligence. So I need to defend someone about it. I mean, other than that... Ooh, I wrote down... Last week, right after we finished, I made 2 realizations, and then instantly forgot one of them. And I'm so mad about it. Hello, Halerin. But the one I remembered is that this case opens with Von Sanctus losing at chess to Tyrion. And Tyrion ends every case by declaring checkmate. So we're doing a cool bookends thing there. The other thing that I realized... Are you kidding me? There we go. This is the title screen of the game. This is a courtroom. We have been looking at this every stream. I do believe it has come up. But not until seconds after I ended last week's stream did I look at this and go, wait a minute, that's the defense bench, the prosecution bench, and the witness stand. So, I'll be looking forward to that when we finally put Eris on trial for being bullshit. Speaking of putting Eris on trial for being bullshit... which of these am I... Hello, Owl. Nope, we are just getting started. Another nightmare overtakes your sleep. You clutch the note tightly in your hands as you read it. I'm sorry, Tyrion. There were so many things that I wanted to tell you. So many things that I wanted to show you. But I'm afraid that I can't do that now. So nothing happened with Steelwind and the Headmaster? No. Whatever the fallout of the Headmaster getting murdered was, that happened off-screen. I need you to be strong now. This world is bleak, merciless, and unforgiving, but I've seen you. I know how bright the light within you is. Use my eyes. Peer beyond the divine gate as I once did. Use it to reclaim the future. Her eyes? I don't understand. It doesn't matter. All you have to do is stop the execution. I feel like I definitely missed the pregame chat, though. Yes. That you did do. If you can just distract the knights long enough, you can save her and run away. You'll have to abandon your home, but at least she'll still be with you. As you try to sprint towards the gallows, a knight grabs your arm and pulls you back. That's about the Eye of Horus, isn't it? Yeah. This case takes place in Tyrion's hometown, so he's been having a lot of flashbacks to his mother's execution. Wrongful execution, I should say. And, she bestowed the eyes onto him, apparently. I don't know if that was, like, literal, or if it's, like, a bloodline thing and she was being metaphorical about it. Alright, kid. You can't cross this point. Hey, stop that. You fruitlessly try to break his grip by striking him with your bare hands. Unfortunately, you are a 10-year-old child. But he barely feels anything through his armor. You continue delivering blow after blow to him, but it does nothing. Your knuckles start to bleed. Irritated by your behavior, the knight pins you to the ground. Police brutality. Damn, kid. You desperately struggle against him to no avail. And from this position, you have no choice but to watch what's happening. Wait! Stop! You make eye contact with your mother one last time. Her body goes limp. You stare blankly at the hanging body. No. This isn't... Mom? You clutch her note tightly in your hand. You feel a comforting, yet fleeting warmth from it. Mom! Help! Help! I'm being oppressed! Tyrion? Celeste, You snap back awake. It was another nightmare. You notice that tears are streaming down your face. You quickly try to bring up your sleeve to wipe them away, but you realize that Celeste is firmly gripping your hand. What? Why are you... sorry. You were shouting in your sleep, but you seemed to calm down a little whenever I held your hand. So I've been doing that. Oh. Tyrion, are you okay? You're not. You've been acting weird since we arrived in Arcane. It's nothing. It's not nothing. I was about to say those exact words. Does it have something to do with your mother? Oh, new follower! Hello, Rose Jen. Welcome to the stream. For the past 2 nights, you've been calling out for her in your sleep. Please, just talk to me. I'm your friend, aren't I? Don't fucking tempt me. You never even realized it. You didn't have many people in your life after you left RNX. You only had Miss Tamora, and she never wanted to talk about what happened. But Celeste? She's been there since you started your career. Of course she's your friend. It all happened a long time ago. We lived here together in that old house. My mother was a merchant and a mage. Your mother was a mage? I guess the gift of magic skipped my generation. I could never use it. About 10 years ago, my mother's business partner was found murdered. And they found traces of magic at the crime scene. Oh god. Catnip, no! They thought that your mom did it. Miss Tamora was my mother's defense attorney for the trial. She did everything she could to get her acquitted. But she could never find the real culprit. They found her guilty of first-degree murder. I tried to stop her execution, but your voice starts breaking. Tyrion. I'm sorry, Celeste. What? Coming back here has brought back so many memories. I thought that I'd already moved on from what happened. If I could just keep saving people as an attorney, then maybe I could put all of this behind me. But I'm back in Arcane. Those feelings are still so fresh in my mind. I guess it's just the trauma. After all, it's not as if there are any 16-year-old girls with mind control powers running around who explicitly want to kill me. It's like I'm still the same powerless child from 10 years ago. I know that I've been taking that out on you. Really sorry. Don't be. I get it. I know what it's like to lose someone like that. She does, doesn't she? When my dad was murdered, you were there for me. If it weren't for you, I would have still believed that he died hating me. Celeste, Celeste slowly clasps your hand within hers again. It feels warm and comforting. Has this been the warmth you've been feeling for the last few nights? So, just let me be here for you. If Ferris wanted to kill Tyrion, I've no doubt at all that Tyrion would already be dead. Ah, I should have clarified. She wants to drive him to despair and then kill him. She was very clear about this at the end of Chase 1. You can feel yourself dozing off. You have to snap yourself back awake. Sorry. The last few days have been a little tiring. It's okay. Just focus on falling asleep. I'll stay with you for as long as you need me to. I'm also feeling pretty tired, though. I'll just rest my eyes a bit. For the first time since you arrived in Oranax, you finally receive a good night's rest. You wake up the next morning feeling well rested. You feel almost a little too rested. You feel really reluctant to leave the comfort of your bed. Celeste, are you there? Your hand feels warm. Ooh, new CG chat! Oh, I really like the sun illuminating the bow on the back of her head. That's just really well done. You can feel your heart stop. You have died. Game over. Celeste? What do you want? Her eyes slowly open as she wakes from her equally restful sleep. She drowsily scans her surroundings. Please tell me that there is a third variant of this, in which her eyes just go wide. Yes! 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 You both start out of the bed. So, you seem to be doing better. You're okay, right? I think this is a new Celeste sprite as well. Hell yes. And is this a new song? Oh, I'm jamming. You're okay, right? Yeah. Thank you for last night. Poor phrasing. Hello? Are you there, Mr. Cuthbert? Ah! What the hell? Your soul nearly jumps out of your body. You suddenly hear Aster's voice, and it's extremely loud. Blast that funky saxophone! Oh yeah, this is an Insane in the Rain music track if ever I heard one. And yes, Insane in the Rain music is one of the musicians who worked on this game. Am I late for court? No, because we managed to get to second day of investigation. I should stop jamming and solve the case, I guess. You look around to see where he is, but he's nowhere to be found. Try the hallway. Aster? Ah, thank the Scaled Lord. I've finally gotten through to you two. What? Where are you? I'm using a spell to speak with you right now. I apologize for contacting you in this manner, but I was worried that something had happened to you too. Right, of course. Anyways, what do you want at this time of day? This time of day? Mr. Cuthbert, it is 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Oh, fuck! Oh, no! What? 3 p.m.? You missed the entire morning. What the hell is this, Metaphor Refantasio? I hope everything's okay. Did something happen? Insane in the membrane? No. Chad, I'm beginning to suspect I'm going to have to introduce you to some of the musicians who worked on this game. No, everything's okay. Anyways, if it's already this late, we should head over to the refinery. Yes! Yes, the investigation! Let's do that! Immediately! Celeste immediately power walks out of the room. You quickly follow after her. If you're headed to the refinery, do you mind if I meet with you two? There's something that I'd like to ask you. Would you marry me? Sure. Wonderful! I'll see you at the town square. I forgot that's what he looked like. I knew he looked like Celeste. I forgot that he just has big puppy energy. Look at this man. He looks like bad people kick him. I don't know how else to describe it. You quickly meet Aster in the town square while you walk to the refinery. You and Celeste walk to your destination with purpose. A little too much purpose. He's my son now! It's almost as if you're both trying to distract yourselves from something. Every time you make eye contact with Celeste, she quickly glances away. Things are a little awkward, but you much prefer this over the tense mood between you two yesterday. Anyways, Aster, what was that spell you used earlier? It let you speak with us without being there. Oh, that? It was a conjuration spell. It's called Send Message. I just feel a little bit uneasy that you can just contact us out of the blue like that. More importantly, I'm a little worried about what he might have seen. Don't worry, the spell is perfectly harmless. I can give you the parameters if you'd like. Oh no. Oh no. Chat, that means this is evidence now. Uh-oh. We're gonna have to solve the boat thing too, aren't we? Oh, we are definitely going to have to solve the boat thing. I was just, thinking. The target can be an object that is attuned to the caster's magic. Lord Von Sanctus is the guy who supplies arcane constructs. Boat thing? Aster's boat fucking vanished. While he was off wandering around looking at the sights. His whole ass ship vanished. Flash of light, gone. And this is the Crown Prince. Tyrion doesn't know that yet, but Aster is the Crown Prince. So he had a big boat, and it was just gone. Looks like it only facilitates communication. You definitely see the embarrassing state that you two are in. Crown Prince, wait until I tell you that he's, Steelwind's fiancé.
By the way, I'm not trying to be rude, but, why are you following us?
Oh, yes. I was still trying to think of the proper method to ask you. Will you marry me? But you both seem so on edge at the moment. Why did you want to ask us? You already told me about the traces of transmutation at the refinery. But the trial yesterday really highlighted the significance of that. I can't simply stand by if I was a witness to a murder. And? May I join you on your investigation? I love my new son, but she could do better, probably. I don't know, I think he's pretty alright. You're questioning his motives for a variety of reasons. I mean, yeah, he's a little too into the murder investigations, but I think he's alright. He was the only other mage that was at the scene of the crime. And between him and Rika, you definitely trust Rika more. Alright, I see no reason why not. Celeste shoots you a concerned look. You subtly gesture for her to keep an eye on Aster. She nods in acknowledgement. Aster is your prime suspect right now, and he has to be aware of that. But if you keep him close to you, you might catch some dissonant thoughts through the eye. You arrive at the refinery and see that several knights from the Inquisition have already arrived. Oh no! Chat, what if Steelwind is here? Then again... does the Crown Prince have Sovereign immunity? I don't know, and it's not relevant. He didn't do it. We already know who did it. Tyrion and Celeste don't, but, how do I put this? They had, like, one of those blackout cutscenes with text between question mark characters, and that depicted the moment of death. It wasn't the prince. I am 100% certain it was Lord Von Sanctus. You glance at the damaged walkway and see Commander White there with a few of his knights. He seems to notice you too, but he only pays you a passing glance. Oh, Mr. Cuthbert, I've been waiting for you. I forgot what my voice sounded like last week. I hope you don't mind. For quite a while, may I add. Right. Sorry about that. I suppose you have your reasons, and you've more than proven yourself worthy of my trust. Although... Drac again gives Aster a suspicious side glance. He appears to have come to the same conclusion that you did. Well, you've given me little reason to doubt your judgment. I will leave the investigation in your capable hands.
Speaking of the investigation, where should we start first?
Now that we've gotten the Inquisition involved, we might be able to learn more about the magical traces at the crime scene. You look at Commander White, who's inspecting the walkway. He's probably your best bet for getting more information about the investigation. I'm quite pleased with your work during the trial. I'm glad I put my trust in you. Thank you. But we're still a long way from getting your case dismissed. And showing the possibility of a murder definitely made things much more complicated. I see no reason to blame yourself. You merely played the cards that you were dealt. Honestly, I'm still trying to make sense of what happened.
No, playing the cards you're dealt is of the devil. This is Tyrion Cuthbert. We do chess metaphors here.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Do you have any idea who the second victim might be?
I have no idea. But all of my other employees are accounted for. I doubt that it was anyone who worked for me.
But then, who was it?
To be perfectly honest, I'm a little concerned with how many unauthorized people were there that day. He has a point. Seems strange that Justin, Rika, and Morrison were all there. Not to mention, the other guy who fell in the vat. I probably shouldn't mention that to him. Oh, it's you two. And who's this? Wait, the hell? Commander, please don't... What the hell are you two doing with the Crown Prince?
What?
It appears that my cover has been blown, as they say. Did he just say that you're the Crown Prince? Yes, my full name is Aster de Wyverngaard IV, heir to the throne of what... I can say that better. Yes, my full name is Aster de Wyverngaard IV, heir to the throne of Wyverngard. Oh, hell yes, this music is... Aster has a name that walked out of a Fire Emblem game. Aster de Wyverngard, occupation, Prince. This entire time, you've been speaking to the heir to the throne? I was hoping that it would not come to this. Sorry, Your Majesty. Please, none of that. At least you finally remembered your voice. I would much prefer if you all continued to call me Aster. No, I could never. You've never seen the commander this flustered before. Why did you find the need to hide this from us? Why the fuck do you think, Mr. Cuthbert? Yes, the prince is a super fan of Tyrion, and it's very funny. I didn't want you to think less of me. I admire your work, Mr. Cuthbert, which is why I was afraid you wouldn't speak with me if you knew the truth. In a way, he was correct to assume that. As a member of the royal family, he represents everything that you and Miss Tamora are fighting against. But he does look like a sincere and genuine person. At the very least, you haven't seen anything incriminating through the eye of Horus. Anyways, this complicates things greatly. Aster is your primary suspect, so if he did commit the murder, he would have to implicate a member of the royal family. A nobleman is one thing. Would it even be possible to convict the crown prince? Well, no matter what, you won't stop seeking justice. It doesn't matter who you're facing, be they man, king, or god. And princes aside, you came here to talk to the commander about his investigation. Since Aster's accompanying you, he might be more inclined to share details with you. I'm surprised that the Inquisition is even here. I thought you were all busy investigating Aster's missing ship. Wait, you know about that? The commander glances nervously at Aster. We wanted to put more of our people there, but Lady Steelwind insisted that we focus on the Dracagon case. As you should. I sure hope that the god part of Man King or God doesn't come back to bite us. I mean, Eris has heavily implied that she is some kind of demon, so I think I think we've got the other guy to worry about, I'll be honest. I would much rather have you find justice. Fuck. I would much rather find... God damn it. I would much rather have you find justice for Justin Way. That's far more important than looking for some musty old ship. Right. Is this kid for real? Eris Ilmater, if that is her real name. Have you discovered anything about the magical traces here? We did take a look at it, and it's definitely suspicious. Yeah, no shit. Obviously. The only rails with magical traces on them are these. And the fact that we can still see them means that they were left within the last 48 hours. It's looking pretty likely that someone used transmutation on these rails that night. It still doesn't make sense, though. Why would someone weaken these rails specifically? I have no idea. Just as confused as you are. If this really is foul play, then someone knew that Justin or some other person would be in this exact place. Has the Inquisition found any evidence to prove my theory? You mean about a second person falling into the vat? Sorry, kid, but it ain't that simple. They fucking melted in there. The body... Shit, I was kinda kidding about that. Like, not fully, but a little. The body of that Justin fella sorta dissolved. That's quite gruesome. If another person had fallen in, their body would have dissolved too. But we could only find some bone fragments, blood, and a lot of metallic shards. Metallic shards, you say? It seems my arcane construct theory is more likely by the minute. Have you been able to use divination magic to identify the bone fragments? Yep. The ones we found all belong to Justin Way. No signs of bones from another person. There wasn't any evidence of another person falling in? Could your theory have been incorrect, then? Are you sure that you and Morrison saw a person fall into the vat, Aster? I definitely saw someone fall off of the walkway and break the guardrails. Although, thinking back on it, I didn't recognize who exactly that person was. The Harbormaster and I were pretty far away, and it wasn't well lit.
Do you think the second victim's body fully dissolved? That might explain why we can't find any bone matter from them.
No. If my theory is correct, the second victim fell in minutes after Justin fell. It wouldn't make sense if that person's body fully dissolved before Justin's. But why can't you find any bone matter of the second person? They stole his bones? Logically, yes, but proving the shards didn't come from the railing will be hard. If I know how this game and how Ace Attorney works, I'm not sure I'll have to.
Either way, Dracagon might want to hear about this.
It's hard for me to verbalize what I'm thinking will happen, but I'm pretty sure Tyrion's going to get like one of his flashes of insight where I have to like prompt him to do something and he'll be like, wait a minute, I've got it. And then he and Steelwind will debate back and forth for a little bit. If the liquid is so volatile, how are you able to take things out of the vat? Oh, the liquid isn't volatile anymore. When the Harbormaster and I reported what we saw, the workers poured some sort of alchemical solution into the vat. Yeah, according to them, that solution neutralized the evocation magic in those chemicals. From what I hear, the magic liquid in these vats is usually blue. The solution that they poured in turned it green. Yes, unfortunately, it was too late. By the time they'd neutralized the liquid, Justin's body had already mostly dissolved. And if they had neutralized it so quickly, we probably wouldn't have found anything from the victim. Evocation, okay. I just wanted to check in because transmutation magic turns up as yellow in the detect magic vision. Oh, he said they were blue. Yellow was the powder because it made it green. Silly me. Wait, no, green is a loot. We have not seen blue. I was kind of kidding about it being yellow because it made it green, but it seems I am correct. I am the greatest detective the world has ever seen. World's greatest detective operative. The fact that it recorded the change in color intimidates me. I still can't believe that you've been the Crown Prince this entire time. I wasn't trying to deceive you. I was just worried that... Should we start calling you Batman then? Maybe. I was just worried that you might treat me differently if you knew the truth. Oh, right. Did I call Steelwind over here for you? She'll probably want to see you. No, I think it would be best if you didn't.
Oh, I remember now. If you're the Crown Prince, that makes Prosecutor Steelwind your fiancé.
Right. Lady Freyga mentioned that during the Nightgrave case. That's why the name Aster sounded so familiar. You saw it in her thoughts. That Miriam. She's caused me so much trouble by publicly revealing my marriage to Lady Steelwind. I had hoped to keep it a secret for much longer. Where is Prosecutor Steelwind anyway? We claim world's greatest attorney operative next? Hell yes! She always investigates these crimes herself. She said she wanted to investigate the disappearing ship personally. She seems really hell-bent on finding the people responsible. They did attempt to kidnap the Crown Prince after all.
Aw, she must really care about you, Aster.
No, I highly doubt that. I mean, if you are both the world's greatest stealth operative and the world's greatest investigator operative, that does kind of make you Batman. I should play, what's that game called? I haven't played it in ages, but that one, martial arts game that was kind of, sort of a Souls-like, also not. God, what was that called? Batman is even the greatest detective in DC Comics. Checks out, I'll be honest. I remember Identity Crisis, even if DC wishes I didn't.
What?
Or Our marriage was arranged by our parents. She had no say in the matter, and I know that she only tolerates me for the good of our kingdom.
I'm sure she still cares about you.
No, I can tell by the way she behaves around me. Her hands quiver with rage. She can't even bear to look at me when I speak to her. Damn. I can't believe she even treats the crown prince like that. Black Myth Wukong? No, this is an older one. It was a single word. I think it started with an A. Oh, now it's bothering me. The actual world's greatest detective is Detective Chip, and we're coming for his title. Hell yeah. Absolver. I'm thinking of Absolver. Sorry, Halerin, I just slightly beat you to it. She may be my fiancée, but our marriage is purely political. She endures so much because of her name. I guess you aristocrats have your own share of problems. Fucking rich people issues, am I right, Tyrion? Up high! We can start with the mystery of where I left my glasses in the last 5 minutes. Uh-oh. Well, what the hell else am I doing?
Arcanum.
Yep.
Traces of transmutation are still here.
It's been a day since the accident. If these traces were left 2 days ago, these traces should disappear by tomorrow.
Right. Magical traces are only detectable for 48 hours after a spell is cast.
Really, Halerin? We've had this conversation. Interesting that I can also have it by looking at things. It's the broken guardrail. The entire case hinges on finding out when and how this railing broke. If Justin Way didn't break the guardrail, then who did? I think they said that I should talk to, Dracagon again, so I guess I'll do that. Dracagon, we spoke with the Inquisition about what they found in the vat, and they could only find bone matter belonging to Justin. Well, that and several metallic shards. What? That can't be right. I know. I know. I was hoping to find some hard evidence to prove my theory. I'll have to find another approach to prove it. No, that's not what I meant. There shouldn't be any solid matter in those vats. Are you talking about the metallic shards? I just assumed that those were some kind of magical byproduct. No. The refinement process requires that everything in the vat remains a liquid. Solid matter would absorb the liquid's magical properties and taint the entire batch. So those metal shards weren't supposed to be in there. Do you think they came from the broken pieces of the railing? Possibly. We'll probably want to double check with the commander to make sure. But this is definitely strange. I'll need to take a moment to work through all of this. Oh, here he goes! From what Dracagon said, there shouldn't have been any solid matter in those vats. We've already confirmed that the bone matter they found came from Justin's body. But that leaves another question. How did the metallic shards appear in the vat? Where did those metallic shards come from? A metal object was thrown into the vat. Really, Halerin?
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Whenever the object was, it probably dissolved into the shards that Orym found.
That's the thing, though. What should the magical liquid have done to the object? The magical liquid in the vat was extremely volatile. It was destructive enough to reduce an entire human body to a few shards of bone. Justin Way should not have killed Justin Way. Yes. Oh, congratulations on finding the glasses. Vat liquid should have completely destroyed the metal object. The object would have been completely destroyed. We shouldn't have found any metal shards in the first place. Right, but we did find them. How do you explain that? Why wasn't the metal object fully destroyed? That night, something happened that prevented the metal object from being fully destroyed. Noah Morrison died. No, the magic in that liquid was really powerful. Something happened recently that would prevent it from... Oh, shortly after. I had it wrong. There we go. Nestor and Morrison reported the accident. The workers immediately neutralized the liquid's magic. They did this in an attempt to save Justin, but it would have also stopped the liquid from destroying anything else within the vat. So that's why we found those metal shards. Now whatever that metal object was, it was only partially destroyed. This means that it fell into the vat around the time that Justin fell into the vat. If it fell a while before the accident, it would have dissolved completely. And if it fell after the accident, it wouldn't have dissolved at all. Furthermore, whatever that object was, it was probably as large as Justin. Do you think this metal object had something to do with the second victim? Maybe they were holding it when they fell in. I'm not sure, but it's definitely possible. We should take a closer look at the metallic shards that the commander found. Those shards might help us identify the second victim. If that person even exists. Or it was the second victim. Okay, just because I'm 8 steps ahead doesn't mean that Tyrion is. Commander White, you mentioned that you found several metallic shards in the vat. Do you mind if we take a look at them? Sure. Just don't get any bright ideas about taking anything. You'll also want to avoid touching them with your bare hands. The liquid is neutralized, but it definitely ain't good for your skin. Look at me. I was 20 years old yesterday. The commander motions to one of the Inquisition knights. After a few moments, he brings back a large barrel filled with the metallic shards. What? There were that many? What could have possibly fallen into the vat? Well, I guess we should get started. I actually thought it was going to give me a minigame where I had to assemble them like a jigsaw puzzle. To be fair, we have the power of trope knowledge on our hand. It was actually mostly the cutscene in which we saw the accident play out. And I was like, wait a minute, Von Sanctus is the guy with arcane constructs, and he is directing someone through vocal commands to try and help Justin, but their grip was too tight. I think it's a robot. And I was correct, it was a robot. Robbed? Yeah. You spend some time closely inspecting the metallic shards with Celeste. The shards are only the size of small rocks, and it's difficult to find any discerning features. Any luck on your end? No, I haven't found... Celeste? I think I found something. I'm not exactly sure what it is, though. Celeste pulls out a metallic shard with some sort of engraving on it. Unlike the other shards, this one looks far less damaged. The engraving on it looks like some sort of crest. That's the crest of House Von Sanctus! Isn't he the noble that's charging Drac again? To be fair, Tyrion doesn't know he's in a game. It could be a straightforward, non-dramatic case for all he knows. Tyrion thought that until he saw the magical traces, and that hope immediately died. We got to watch it happen in real time. Well, I doubt that Lord Von Sanctus was the second victim. Mister, do you know who would have a house emblem like this? Normally, only the Lord's retainers would have the emblems of his house. I doubt that Justin was the one who had this in his possession.
Do you think that one of Von Sanctus's retainers fell into the vat that night?
It's definitely possible. But if that did happen, why haven't we heard about it? Lloyd Von Sanctus would have the resources to keep something like that out of the public eye. The only way to know for sure would be to ask him ourselves. But even if we could talk to him, he would never cooperate with us. You glance at the prince. Someone of his station would have no trouble meeting with Lord Von Sanctus. An idea begins to form in your mind. Unless... Unless... What is it, Mr. Cuthbert? Will I get to help you perform justice? Lord Von Sanctus is named Lloyd Von Sanctus. To be fair, we have met other lords. Master, do you think you could help us interrogate Lord Von Sanctus? Really? You need my help? In this instance, it'd be very difficult to speak to him by ourselves. But as the Crown Prince, he'd be much more inclined to speak with you. Of course, I'd be happy to help. You might be overplaying your hand by utilizing Aster this way. You're still wary of the prince, especially since he was one of the few mages at the scene. Will this really work, though? It's not ideal. It's the only lead we have so far. But it still bothers you. Why haven't you found any bone matter from the second person? Maybe you're overthinking it. You are. He didn't have bones. Lock in. You should pursue every lead and see where it takes you. And to do that, you need to find out where Lord Von Sanctus is. Well, we know he's still in the city because the city's on lockdown because the boat fucking vanished. Also, apparently this is just where his house is.
So this is Von Sanctus' house.
It'd be more appropriate to call this building a palace rather than a house.
Ugh. What's that smell?
As you head further into the manor, you're hit with a very pungent and sour odor. Plot twist, Lloyd's name isn't actually Lloyd. Aster misheard the Lord as Lloyd, and he's too awkward to admit that Aster was wrong. What are you gonna do, tell the Crown Prince he misheard you? It almost burns the interior of your nostrils every time you inhale.
Well, we're here.
Why is it that every case with arcane constructs, somebody makes this massive smell? You look around the manor and don't see anyone nearby. It looks like the Lord Sanctus isn't home at the moment. Where could he be? Perhaps we should try looking somewhere else.
Prepario Arcanum!
Well, it was worth a shot. Confirmation bias? I mean, it has only been 2 cases. It's hardly a basis of a pattern. Now, if there was a 3rd case, we'd have a problem. Long flight of stairs leads to the upper parts of Von Sanctus Manor. You're a bit tempted to snoop around, but it'd be best not to take such risks. Cat, do you think Von Sanctus is the guy who killed Tyrion's mother's business partner? Rika, are you here? You enter Rika's cafe and find the place completely empty. You see a sign on the front door. It reads closed for today.
It looks like she's closed the restaurant for today.
Arcane constructs are stealing our jobs. Generative arcane constructs constitutes theft. Every arcane construct has been involved in murder so far. Wait, no, this one's accidental death. Every arcane construct has been involved in a federal crime so far. Since the Inquisition is involved now, they might have taken her in for questioning. Really wanted to go into detail about what she saw. But it looks like we'll have to go somewhere else.
Repario Arcanum!
Well, it was worth a shot. It's some kind of tarot card. The Magician. According to Rika, the Magician is associated with the power of transformation and manifestation. In its upright position, it's associated with the resourcefulness to harness one's inner potential. And it often symbolizes a person who possesses great skill, creativity, and mastery over their craft. Why was that just sitting there? Wouldn't this be manslaughter if it's accidental? I'm unclear on how manslaughter works. I think this is accidental death. No, because manslaughter does count for things like you push a guy down the stairs and he hits his head and dies. So I think this is technically manslaughter. Yeah, I've seen that dialogue before. Seen that dialogue before. Seen that dialogue before. Plant! Well... Oh, well, shit. I went to the town square because I wanted to talk to, Celeste and see where she wanted me to go, but I found Lloyd. Hold on for a moment, chat. Alright, let's do this. Now, how do I want to voice Lloyd? Do I do it for the bit, or do I do it as how he would sound? The problem is that I don't know if I can do the voice for the bit. Hailerin, I'm so committed to the bit that I would do it in a heartbeat if I was confident that I could do the voice. But I'm not. Okay. I just have to figure out how to make my vocal cords recognizably who I want to do. 'Cause, yeah, I'm not sure I can do a Scott Menville impression is the problem. I don't know, give it a try anyway. Who's Scott Menville? The voice of Lloyd Irving from Tales of Symphonia. You might notice that I am currently dressed as Lloyd Irving from Tales of Symphonia. You might also know him as Robin from the 2003 Teen Titans. We mustn't let such idealistic notions throw our nation into chaos. You arrive at the town square and see Lord Von Sanctus speaking to several spectators from a podium.
Here's Lord Von Sanctus.
He appears to be giving some sort of speech. You do your best to remain hidden from his view while you listen in.
Please understand, the actions of the nobility seem callous. However, we only have your best interests at heart.
It's the controversy with the Dracagon Trading Company is just one of the many examples. These so-called unions that men like him support I cannot do a Robin voice and be anti-union. I can't do it, chat. I'm putting the suit back on. Funny you should mention that game. I just started watching an LP of that recently. Lloyd does have a fun VA. I was actually in a Tales of Symphonia stream last year. A friend was participating in the Summer VTuber Slam, and I showed up for 3 hours to play Tales of Symphonia with him. I really need to finish that one sometime. Or actually finish literally any Tales game that isn't Tales of the Abyss. Not that Tales of the Abyss is bad, it is objectively the best Tales game, but I really should finish the others. Lord Farquaad instead? You got me there. Then again, the problem is it's been way too long since I've heard his voice. I'll give it my best shot anyway. These so-called unions that men like him support may seem appealing. Yep, that sure is, Owl. But they only obfuscate and hinder the nobility from protecting the working class. Men like Stefanik Dracagon are merely charlatans. They only seek financial gain by strong-arming your true benefactors. Now, some of you may work 7-day work weeks for 10 hours a day, but that is a sacrifice I am willing to make. True benefactors? What a joke. I knew that Von Sanctus was wary of Dracagon, but I never expected him to be this zealous about getting rid of him. I think it's less about Dracagon specifically, and more about what he represents. What do you mean? The Dracagon Trading Company has presented tangible proof that its policies are both effective and profitable. Even businesses that have no affiliation with him have started following his example. Von Sanctus is merely a relic of the past. And I think he knows that his archaic capitalistic ideals won't survive in this socialist landscape. I can only fuck, that's the wrong voice. I can only hope that our grand kingdom recognizes this danger as I have. The pompous noble leaves the podium as the citizens ponder his words. They should kill him. Ugh, what a load of garbage. It's obvious that Von Sanctus knows his days are numbered. But look at what happened. We let the common folk set their own standards and a young man died. I guess you have a point there. Unions are why we have safety standards. Based prince. You saw Von Sanctus get into a carriage shortly after his speech. It appears to be heading back to his manor. God damn it. Anyways, we saw Von Sanctus heading back here. Should be able to speak with him soon. Wait, Tyrion. Isn't he going to recognize us? We can't really avoid that if we want to question him. Oh, we can't really avoid that. If we want to question him, we need to speak to him directly. The real question I have is where Von Sanctus gets his hair. There's no way that shade is natural. He's fucking rich. He owns a trading company. It could come from anywhere. But even a noble like him would have to act civilly with the crown prince present. You mean like how you're civilly embarrassed and insulted him a few days ago? Right. You completely forgot about the chess tournament. Well, it's not as if we can hide our identities from him. I faced him in the chess tournament and I'm Dracagon's attorney. He knows what we look like. What we look like? Wait, that's it! What? Illusio! Wait, what are you... Whoa. That's quite impressive, Celeste. Right? I've been practicing that one. What are you two talking about? I think you should see for yourself. The prince gestures towards a nearby mirror in the hallway. Good thing all rich people have one of those. You reluctantly approach it. Just what exactly did Celeste do to you? She learned disguise person. Genius prodigy Celeste strikes again. What? Why do I look like Reese Rudolph? It looks great, right? Eris taught that one to me. No, hold on. Hold up. Run that one by me one more time. I did not think she was actually a mage. Well, you know, giant mirrors are the best in anti-vampire home defense. I've played V Rising. That's bullshit. The best in anti-vampire home defense is silver and garlic. Mostly the garlic. No, really, I straight up did not think she was a mage. But, I have had to reevaluate that when Tyrion mentioned that his mother, who had the eyes of Horus, was a mage. Remind me who is Rhys Rudolph? He was a minor character in the first case. He was, Garrick Pierce's coachman. It is very funny that the first time we see, like, a Tyrion portrait in the, investigation sections, and it's not even him. Do you honestly expect him to fall for this? He's probably a powerful mage. He'll see right through this. Everyone knows that the best in anti-vampire home defense are Gatling guns loaded with 20,000 silver bullets. I was gonna say that seems expensive, but this man is rich. Are you telling me that the Crown Prince is here? Why didn't you notify me sooner? You hear Von Sankt is shouting at his attendant from down the hallway. He seems to be quickly heading this way. Huh? You might want to disguise yourself as well, Celeste. Don't encourage her. This is extremely illegal. Right, look. You should just dispel this ridiculous disguise that he's almost here. I can't think of anyone. Under a mode of holy water. You try finding me when you are without a body. I'm terribly sorry for keeping your highness waiting. Illusio! What was that? What are you talking about? I could have sworn that I heard something. They brought back the Celeste Steelwind nameplate. That's so funny. Gaslight Gatekeep Girl Boss. No, Hailer, Gaslight Gatekeep Girl Boss is Eris's thing. This is gonna be a train wreck. It's gonna be hilarious. That's what it's gonna be. I didn't hear anything either. You must be imagining things. Skilled Lord help us. Of all the people she could have chosen. At least she's able to mimic her voice well enough. Oh, Lady Steelwind. I wasn't expecting you until much... That's the prince's voice. I have to do Farquaad or whatever. Ah, Lady Steelwind. I wasn't expecting you until much later. Fuck. Well, I do not answer to you. I shall do as I shall please. Yes, I suppose you have a habit of doing that. Surprisingly, it doesn't look like you've seen through your disguises. He must have other things on his mind if his guard is down like this. Also, you're with the Crown Prince, as long as he says it isn't illegal, it isn't. That feels a little bad to say for my occupation. Anyways, Lord Von Sanctus, pardon the abrupt intrusion. I came by to pay my respects. I am honored by your majesty's presence. Unfortunately, I'm quite busy with administrative matters at the moment. Too busy to show hospitality to the heir of the throne? Oh, I wasn't. I suppose I have some time to speak with you? The conditions aren't ideal, but at least you have Von Sanctus here with you. You should let Prince Aster make the small talk with him for a bit. After that, you can subtly bring up the Von Sanctus crest you found on the vat. You're a defense attorney, holes in the prosecution's case are your bread and butter. Yeah, but it feels a little bad for me to be like, nah, it's totally legal as long as the prince says it is, when my whole shtick is bringing nobles to the stand and calling them out for their bullshit. I heard about the charges that you've brought against the Dragon Trading Company. Forgive my bluntness, but is everything well within your estate? Oh, that. I'm simply cleaning house, nothing more. I've hired the Pinkerton Detective Agency. I've dealt with plenty of men like Draken before, and this time will be no different. I understand that he may be taking business away from you, but does that really warrant you taking such drastic measures? It's not just about his business. It's these ideas that he's putting into people's heads. He's allowed these unions to continue existing, and other businesses are following his example. It's absolutely absurd. It's as if the entire world has gone mad. I see. Our society only functions when the lower class knows their place. That's how our society functions. Then perhaps it is flawed. You're still young, Prince Aster. These righteous ideals may sound appealing, but they are the path to disorder. The common folk do not care about the well-being of our kingdom as a whole. They only care about themselves individually. If we allow them to become empowered, they will use that power selfishly. It's up to the upper class to maintain order. I see. They scientifically engineered this guy to be the perfect hate sink. Impressive. I don't know, he's just a capitalist. It's not that hard. Shakti much? Yeah, I had to pause for a moment to recover from the hypocrisy-related psychic damage I was taking. By the way, I'm surprised that you're representing Lord Von Sanctus, Lady Steelwind. Oh, right. What is he doing? It's already hard enough to maintain this ruse. I knew that you recently became a prosecutor, but I never imagined that you would represent a noble. Nah, I didn't quite get his voice there. It's hard to capture him being a silly man and also a Fire Emblem character. Don't get ahead of yourself, Aster. What does that even mean? Let's not be coy, Lady Steelwind. If you must know, Your Majesty, now Steelwind and I came to an arrangement. The fair lady is so keen on wasting her talents on civil work. Given that, I might as well utilize her to my benefit. Not speak to her like that. Oh, I meant no disrespect, but rest assured, this is only temporary. I see. So you have an arrangement with Lucio Steelwind. It seems that Aster is collecting his own information. Now that is interesting. I underestimated the prince. He's got an agenda all his own. Now what could he be up to? Come to think of it... Nope, that's the one. Come to think of it, what was he doing at the refinery that day? Why was he in town at all? And why? Targeted the prince and why? Well, I don't have enough information yet to figure out the prince's agenda, so let's just keep focusing on this asshole. By the way, Lord Von Sanctus, have any of your attendants gone missing lately? Golden retrievers are intelligent dogs, goofy nature aside. Never forget that they have fangs. That's an oddly specific question. But no, all of my attendants are accounted for. You don't see any dissonant thoughts from the eye, but he could be unconsciously shielding himself from it. I must ask, why would you ask such a question? You see, I actually found a discarded trinket while walking around the city. It had the crest of House Von Sanctus on it. I was worried that something unsavory might have happened to one of your people. Ah, I see. I suppose you must be on edge after what happened to your ship. However, items with the Von Sanctus crest are quite common nowadays. Really? The item you found must have been a product a product produced by Von Sanctus Industries. An item produced by Von Sanctus Industries? Never forget they were bred as hunting dogs, more like? And I get the feeling he's already found his prey. So the Von Sanctus crest is on some of the items produced by your company. Not just some of the items. The Von Sanctus crest is engraved on... Hold on, I'm distracted. Why does this one... Oh, because he's quoting him. Okay, never mind. The Von Sanctus crest is engraved on every product created by Von Sanctus Industries. As a result, people have come to associate the quality of our products with the quality of House Von Sanctus. Or at least they did until hacks like Dracagon came out of the woodwork. So in other words, it's just branding. What type of products does Von Sanctus Industries produce? We used to produce magical accessories for mages. You know, magic and magic accessories. But now we produce all manner of products. As the head of commerce in our kingdom, we've diversified our holdings. Oh. That means the metal shard could have come from anything. Seems like this line of questioning led to a dead end. Damn it. Is it really impossible to identify where that shard came from? Do you sell your products to the Dracagon Trading Company? Yes, of course I do. Despite my misgivings with Dracagon, it would be foolish of me if I didn't do business with him. That means that there are Von Sanctus products in the Arcane refinery. You're called Von Sanctus Industries after all. That's true. The metal shard could have been from some sort of industrial tool. Just what are you implying, Lady Steelwind? A twinge of nervousness through the eye. Does he know something? Why would he get so defensive over a question like that? Was there a Von Sanctus product in the refinery on the night of the murder? She misspoke and said murder instead of accident, but that is revoking a reaction. Answer the question, Von. Celeste attempts to loudly slam the tip of her cane on the ground only to realize that her cane isn't actually real. She loses her balance and tips over a nearby face. Fuck! God damn it! She got too into the role and ate shit. The vase shatters on the ground, creating quite a mess of broken shards and water. Lady Steelwind, are you okay? Celeste immediately regains her balance and tries to act as if nothing happened. I'm not paying for that. Lord Von Sanctus completely loses. Just the I'm not paying for that fucking got me. Lord Von Sanctus completely loses his composure and recoils at the sight of the broken vase. Yeah. We got the son of a bitch. Construct! I require your assistance. Acknowledged. In response to Von Sanctus' call, an arcane construct walks out from a nearby closet. Construct! Clean up this mess at once! He seems very disturbed by the mess. Is he some sort of clean freak? Acknowledged. The construct begins quickly picking up the shards of the broken vase. You own an arcane construct? I do. Von Sanctus Industries is the inventor of arcane constructs, after all. Right. You recall Celeste mentioning that earlier. Would you like one, Your Highness? My apologies. I'm not very interested in using artificery. Suit yourself. In any case, I'm afraid Lady Steelwind must be taking her leave now. What? Remember? You said that you could only accompany me for 1 hour. It's close to being 1 hour, right, Lady Steelwind? What are you... Oh, right, 1 hour. It would definitely not be fucking... get a move on, Celeste! Oh, does this illusion only last for an hour? In the meantime, may I discuss some personal matters with you, Lord Von Sanctus? Of course. I'm at your disposal, Your Majesty. He was charging up to go Super Saiyan, I swear to God, what the fuck was that pose? He actually did that pose at the start of this case when I kicked his ass at the chess tournament. You raise an eyebrow at the prince. It appears that he didn't come here just to help you. But you suppose that you've gotten all of the information that you need out of Von Sanctus. I guess if they put that as a clue, it would be too obvious. The prince is far slyer than he looks? I am very curious what the prince's agenda is, but at the moment it's not my problem.
That was embarrassing.
Yeah, that was a bit too close for comfort.
Well, at least no one saw through our disguises.
This is the best fucking thing that could have happened. I'm so delighted right now. Just remembered Seaworld is the best. Oh shit! I haven't read the new O-tier chapter! Fuck! Ah, well, I'll get to it later.
Are you an attendant here? Please notify Lord Von Sanctus that I...
The real Arya Steelwind just walks to the front door of the manor just as you are about to exit. She immediately stops in her tracks upon meeting her doppelganger. Burio. With one spell, Steelwind dispels the illusions over you and Celeste. Upon seeing who you really are, she lets out an irritated sigh.
Is impersonating the Steelwinds some kind of hobby for you, Miss McCoy?
She looks really angry this time.
No, there was a really good reason for us doing this. Let me guess. You wanted to interrogate Von Sanctus without him knowing who you really were.
No?
Lying about your name is one matter, but impersonating a noble using magic is a serious crime.
Tyrion, help please? Are you seriously going to have to defend her in court again? You quickly try to think of a way to defuse this situation. Sorry for the wait, you two. I had to discuss... Oh, Lady Steelwind. Great. According to Aster, Steelwind despises him. Knowing that he was part of this will just make things worse. Your Majesty? Why is he here? Chat, I have reason to suspect that the prince may in fact have misread some things. She's not a tsundere, she's shy. She's a tsundere to me because we face off in court. What? Oh, I see that you've dispelled their disguises.
You knew about this?
Aster steps between you and Steelwind. It seems that he's trying to calm her down. It is going to be, it's not illegal if the prince okayed it. I think it's more like it's not illegal if we don't get arrested. For better or for worse, her attention is firmly focused on him. I'm terribly sorry. I didn't mean to disrespect you.
No, that's not why
He's really close. They pulled this ruse under my orders. Could you please look the other way, just for this once?
Okay.
Thank you, Lady Steelwind. I won't forget this. Tyrion, I must be honest with you. I believe Lady Steelwind hates me. Look at the way she looks at me. Humana, 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 humana. Oh god, this is so good. Why are you apologizing, Owl? Owl, what did you do? I'm glad to be of service, Catnip. No, Halerin, I don't believe she hears sexy back. I think she hears careless whisper. I need to go. Well, that was certainly something. I'm sorry you two had to see that. What? It's as I said before. She absolutely detests me. You saw it, didn't you? She could barely look me in the eye. Oh my god. Did you really just say that? Yes! Not the Scaled Lord, not any of the real religion that they follow in this world. You just jump straight to Christianity. The situation is so dire. Oh. Oh. Owl, I do not understand what your reference is. In any case, we're starting to run out of time. We should head back to the refinery. Celeste, oh my god, you're a shonen protagonist. Holy shit. But we still don't know where the metal shard came from. From what Von Sanctus told us, I don't think we can find out exactly where it came from. If each of Von Sanctus' products has that crest, it could be any number of things. It is a SpongeBob reference? Ah! That would explain it. I did not watch that show. But hopefully Dragagon can help us narrow that list down. If it did come from some kind of industrial tool, he might be able to check if any of the refinery's tools are missing. We just hope he can provide you with some kind of lead. Interesting. It took a moment for that to update that I'd looked at it. That will not help me, Owl. I did not watch it. Excuse me for a moment. Ah, it's like that, is it? Doesn't understand at all. Hello again, Mr. Cuthbert. I hope you have good news. Well, actually, it'll take some time to explain to Dragagon what you found during your investigation. $30 the shards are from Sanctus panicking and calling for a construct to clean up this mess. I mean, we saw the moment of the death, so, like, I know that's not what happened, but it's alarmingly possible anyway. You're still uncertain about the identity of the second victim. Lock in! The metal shard with the Von Sanctus crest is your best lead right now. I see. With that said, do you have any tools that you've purchased from Von Sanctus Industries? I do. He personally sold me quite a few when I first arrived in the city. I even purchased the security system for the refinery building from him. Really? Did you purchase anything else from him? Well, he also tried to sell me some of those arcane constructs. He told me I could be the first person in Arnex to own such innovative technology. But I turned him down. Really? But they seem so useful. I don't feel comfortable trusting machines to handle the work here. Those constructs require very specific instructions, and they lack common sense. If, for example, one of them accidentally bowled a guy over and he fell over the railing and you ordered it to save him, it might grab him by the wrist too tightly and get him killed anyway. Hypothetically. That's true. We saw how unreliable they could be during the Nightgrave case. He heavily emphasized how exclusive this deal would be for me. Looking back on it, he was probably trying to make me dependent on his services. Yeah, I guess you made the right choice by refusing his offer. Anyways, have any of the tools from Von Sanctus Industries been reported missing? The Inquisition actually asked me the same question, so I took some time today to check my inventory. Why did the Inquisition ask him for that? Did Steelwind come to the same conclusion that you did? There was one tool that was unaccounted for. Really? What kind of tool was it? A Rod of Mending. It's a large tool that we use to repair damage on the machines. A tool for repairs? How large was it? Quite large, actually. It's called a rod, but it's more of a large cylindrical tool. It requires 2 people to properly carry and use it. Wait. A repair tool like that would use transmutation magic, right? That's right. What if the Rod of Mending was the thing that weakened the guardrail? Is that possible, Dracogen? I suppose that is possible, now that you mention it. I recall there being a way to reverse its effects. Two people, you say? We never even considered that the transmutation traces were left by an artificery tool. That does lift some suspicion off of Aster. Someone could have sabotaged the rail with the rod, and they might have thrown it into the vat to cover their tracks. But it didn't completely dissolve. That would mean that they threw the rod in that would mean that they threw the rod in close to when Justin fell off of the walkway. It can't be a coincidence that those 2 events happened so close to each other. And we still have no idea who actually broke the guardrail. We didn't find a second body in the vat. We don't have evidence that proves a second victim even exists. Abjuration. So the rod was the second person? I'm not sure. No, the rod couldn't have been this. Yeah. That would mean that Von Sanctus had an accomplice, if not the construct. I feel as if we have more questions than answers at the moment. I'm not sure. I think I actually have an idea here. We know that Dracogen was here with the construct because he ordered the construct to save Justin, but fucked it up. At the time, I assumed that, well, I later assumed that that wasn't the case, and he used, spells. That he used send message to contact it in order to give it orders remotely. But it's possible that he was here to help the Arcane construct move that into position so that he could deliberately start sabotaging parts of the factory, and then accidentally ran into Justin in the middle of the sabotage and decided to use it as part of the plot. But I should have really rewatched the cutscene in which Justin dies. That would have been extremely helpful. But I did not do that. So that's not the world in which we live. I've learned a few new facts about the case, though. And the Inquisition has verified the traces of transmutation on the guardrail. The burden of proof is still on the prosecution to prove that Dracogen is at fault. Even if Steelwind has a proper explanation for that, I can counter her with the facts we've learned thus far. I just hope that the trial goes as smoothly as you're describing. It rarely ever does. Knowing that would needlessly stress him out. Regardless, I appreciate the work that you've done thus far. I'll leave things in your very capable hands. I just hope that you don't encounter any more curveballs tomorrow. Well, we've hit 10. It's time to loop back to the top. I keep forgetting that this chapter is called The Origins of Horus, and that concerns me greatly. Court is now resumed for the trial of Stefanik Dracogen. Let us review the proceedings from 2 days ago. A recap, if you will. At first of the... It's fine, chat. I didn't bother with vocal warm-ups today. At first, the facts of the case seemed very straightforward. The victim, Justin Way, put his weight on a poorly maintained guardrail on the refinery grounds. Said guardrail broke, causing Justin Way to fall to his death. However, the defense presented a shocking piece of evidence in the previous proceedings. Traces of transmutation magic were found on that same broken guardrail. This new evidence implies that sabotage, if not outright foul play, played a part in the death of the victim. The evidence is also accompanied by conflicting testimonies from witnesses. Yes, Catnip, his name is Justin the Way. This is an Ace Attorney game. All of the names are bad puns. All of these elements have thrown quite some doubt on the validity of the prosecution's case.
Yes, however, the prosecution maintains that the Dracogen Trading Company is at fault for Justin Way's death.
Even though someone may have sabotaged the guardrails?
The prosecution acknowledges that sabotage may have occurred on the scene of the accident. However, we also believe there are several factors in this case that the court is overlooking. As we all know, several witnesses were present at the refinery at the time of the accident. The harbor master was showing a patron around the refinery, Masurika Tudor was making a food delivery and entered the building, and, of course, the victim, Justin Way, was obviously present as well. Each and every one of these people had no business being in the refinery that night.
In the case of the harbor master and his patron, it would hardly be reasonable for anyone to stop them. You doubt anyone would stand in the way of the Crown Prince.
That may be, but Justin Way worked in the freight division and should not have been at the scene.
I've already verified this with my client. The victim was not authorized to be in the refinery building.
And who stopped Justin Way from entering the area unauthorized? Isn't it the defendant's duty to prevent such individuals from entering the building?
What's the joke with Justin Way? He was in the way, and that's how he got knocked off the railing. My client can't be held responsible for Justin's breach of the set protocols, and you surely can't hold my client responsible for someone sabotaging the guardrail.
This so-called sabotage is only theoretical until a proper culprit is found.
I might be compelled to agree with you, Miss Steelwind. After all, there's no hard evidence that proves the traces of transmutation were left by a specific spell.
What kind of mental gymnastics is that? Every part of the guardrail that had traces on it was rusted.
Ugh. They're bending the context of what happened to suit their purposes. Hard evidence means everything here, and the rod of mending has been reduced to shards in the vat. Without the complete rod, you can't prove that someone used it to sabotage the guardrail.
Regardless, is it not the responsibility of the Dracogen Trading Company to ensure that its employees do not wander into restricted areas? Blaming a potential saboteur puts the cart before the horse. It doesn't just stop with Justin Way, either. Why was Masurika Tudor able to enter the building? She doesn't even work for the refinery, yet she was able to waltz into the building without any trouble.
Actually, Steelwind does have a point about Rika. Couldn't something have stopped her from entering that area? You dropped that Dracogen and showed that kind of negligence. So do you guys remember who he bought his security system from? I do! If that's true, I believe that we should hear from Miss Tudor directly. Let's hear how easily she gained access to the refinery on the day of the accident.
We've already anticipated that. Masurika Tudor is prepared and ready to testify.
Very well then. Bailiff, please escort Miss Tudor to the stand.
Miss Tudor, are you aware of why you've been called here today?
Yeah, I heard everything from the gallery.
Then you'll have no problem answering the following question. Did you encounter resistance when you entered the refinery the night of the accident? Witness, may I remind you that you are under oath to tell the court everything you know? Failure to do so is a crime. No, no one tried to stop me. Sorry, Tyrion. You have nothing to apologize for, witness. The only one at fault is the Dracagon Trading Company and their negligence. Hey, that's... For the record, please testify in detail about how you entered the refinery that day, Miss Tudor. Okay. That day, I was looking for Justin in the freight area, but I couldn't find him. I decided to look for him in the refinery's main building. There was some kind of magical door leading into it, but it was unlocked. Nothing really stopped me from entering the refinery building. As the court can clearly see, there were no safeguards preventing the witness from entering that restricted area. The witness clearly stated that there was a magical door leading into the building. This was obviously some sort of fucking Christ! How am I meant to read these messages when I'm getting chatbots? Well, I went to the door and saw that the number pad had been turned off. This was obviously some sort of security door powered by artificery, which was still unlocked and effectively useless. Damn it. There must be a way to prove that the unlocked door wasn't Dracagon's fault. Mr. Cuthbert, you may begin your cross-examination. Actually, hold on, I want to press that for a moment. It seems strange that you'd go looking for him. Why not just leave his food with one of his co-workers? I thought of that, but I also wanted to make sure that he was okay. I was the one that helped him get his job in the first place. It wouldn't look good if he left in the middle of his shift. How did you enter the refinery building, Miss Tudor? Press everything? I don't need to press everything. If you want all the optional dialogue, buy the game yourself. By magical door, you mean that it was a door powered by artificery? Yeah, I have a door like it in my restaurant too. But this one looked a lot more complex. Why would you or Dracagon need magical doors anyway? The one in my cafe magically locks the shop when I close it for the day. I guess the door to the refinery building was for the same thing. But that means that there was a mechanism to keep out unauthorized personnel, which was effectively useless. The witness entered the refinery and encountered zero resistance. Furthermore, the Inquisition has already logged the specs for the door. Now we're talking. Yeah, I thought of that too, Halloran. I'm not sure if that's relevant, though. Did you use a key to unlock the door, Miss Tudor? No, I didn't. As you can see from this report, Stefanik Dracagon was the only person capable of disabling the lock. I guess Mr. Dracagon kept the door unlocked during work hours. This means that it's entirely Dracagon's fault that the victim gained access to the building in the first place. Wait, that's not what I meant to... But that is what you implied. Unless you can prove that another person disabled that door? You can't refute that statement. Yet. But you might be able to work with this new information. Regardless, please add that last statement to your testimony, witness. All right. I was just curious what would happen.
Objection!
The music didn't change, so that's not it. Magical keys. I'll try it.
Objection!
Fuck. Okay. It's gotta be this statement. What am I missing? This added a new testimony. It's always the new testimony. But I'll try it. You were there to deliver his dinner to him, am I correct? Yeah, he was usually in the freight area around that time. I was surprised when I didn't see him there. I was a little worried, so... Seems... yeah, I've already pressed that statement. I pressed that statement. Rika didn't even realize that she entered a restricted area. But the fact that she was able to enter it so easily is definitely strange. Dracagon must have had precautions to prevent such a thing from happening. Maybe the employees got lazy and disabled the lock against his orders? It's possible, but would Dracagon really allow something like that to happen? See, it's this statement. Oh. Oh no. Oh no.
Objection!
Miss Steelwind, you claim that my client expressed negligence by disabling the door. This is the reason why the security door was unlocked, and why the current witness was able to enter the building. That's correct. Your client's negligence allowed unauthorized persons like Justin Way to gain access to the building. Objection, she's coloring the jury. Could you stop that? And regardless of any sabotage, Justin Way died because he was in said unauthorized area. And what if I told you that another person may have disabled the door? Not because of laziness, but for more nefarious purposes. What are you talking about? If you recall, the witness entered the refinery building and spotted Justin Way afterward. This means that Justin Way entered the building before her. So that begs the question, how did Justin Way enter the building? The answer's obvious. He entered the same way the witness did, through the unlocked door. Not quite, Miss Steelwind. Since this trial began, we still haven't answered why Justin Way entered the refinery building in the first place. He entered the refinery building with the intent of robbing my client's personal safe. I already told you, Tyrion. He would never do something like that. I feel a little guilty about insulting a dead man's name like this, but it's the only possibility that makes sense. I'm sorry, Rika, but there are things about Justin that even you didn't know about. The truth is that he was deeply in debt to a crime lord named the Eye Taker, and he was extremely desperate to wipe that debt as soon as he could. Crime lord? I won't ask how you came across this information, Mr. Cuthbert, but what does this have to do with the disabled magical lock? Miss Steelwind, Justin owned a set of tools that he used for picking mundane and magical locks. The safe that he was planning to rob was located in my client's office within the refinery building. I have witnesses who saw Justin retrieve those tools shortly before the night of the accident. He clearly had a plan to disable any locks that stood between him and that safe. That means this means that it's entirely possible Justin disabled the locked refinery door illegally. We're not actually going to bring them in, are we? Yeah, I'm kind of bluffing right now. You basically assaulted one of them. We both assaulted him, Tyrion. He says that as if it absolves her of any guilt. Not that I blame him. I would not want to be in the debt to some fucker called the Eye Taker, and my eyes are shit. I just think it's funny that the Eye Taker only has one. Buddy. Hold on a minute. You can't just accuse him like that when he can't defend himself. I'm sorry, Rika, but his delinquent friends told me about his plan. He didn't want to rob Dracagon, but he needed the gold to wipe away his debt. He could have brought them the girl, but that would have put us in a much worse video game. If Justin wasn't the one that disabled the lock, that would only leave Dracagon. But there has to be an explanation where neither of them is guilty. She definitely believes in Justin. But a scenario where both Justin and Dracagon are innocent is too optimistic, if not impossible. But it's not as if you are entirely certain of what actually happened that day either. Alright, Rika. You knew Justin better than I did. Let's assume that you're correct. Neither Justin nor Dracagon disabled the locks that day. How did either of you enter the refinery then? Well, someone must have disabled it before then. Wait, let me think through this. Plenty of people could have disabled the locks. Maybe one of the employees got lazy and forcefully broke it. There was also that nobleman who was with Mr. Morrison. He's a mage and could have used magic to do it. It could also have been one of the maintenance Chat. Let's kill this son of a bitch. I can barely even begin to point out all of the issues with your theories, Miss Tudor. If you recall, the entrance lock can only be disabled by Stephanic Dracagon. Even Mr. Cuthbert's theory makes more sense than your list of suspects. She's right. It doesn't matter how many suspects she presents. None of them had the credentials to disable the lock. So why do you feel like there was something else wrong with her testimony? The defense would still like to exercise the right to cross-examine the witness. What a waste of time. While the court agrees with Miss Steelwind, we also recognize Mr. Cuthbert's right to engage in some fine-ass bullshit that tends to solve cases, so we'll let it slide this time. However, I will not allow the defense to waste the court's time. If nothing substantial is gained from your cross-examination, I will not hesitate to end it early. Understood, Your Honor.
Objection!
Wait, that can't be right, can it? Rika, you said that you saw a maintenance construct inside the refinery building. Are you sure that it was an arcane construct? Yeah, I've been keeping an eye on them in the Von Sanctus catalogs, but they're not available to the public yet. When you saw this arcane construct, what was it doing? I'm not exactly sure, but it looked like it was doing maintenance on the machines. Maintenance on the machines? But it shouldn't have been there in the first place. What was it doing in there? And more importantly, who sent it in there? Could it have been someone wearing a construct again? Lol. Last person wearing a construct was dead. I don't think we can count that. Where are you going with this, Mr. Cuthbert? Arcane constructs only perform the actions that they're ordered to. A construct at Arcane Refinery would only take orders from their administrator, Stephanic Dracagon. Unless you want to imply that the construct broke the lock on his orders? I agree. A construct owned by my client wouldn't have done that. But arcane constructs are extremely rare and not available to the general public yet. Furthermore, they are only produced and sold by Von Sanctus Industries. Lloyd Von Sanctus personally sold several products to the Dracagon Trading Company. However, when offered the opportunity to purchase his arcane constructs, my client turned him down. What? My client disliked the construct's flawed intelligence. He didn't want them working in the refinery. He turned down Lord Von Sanctus' offer in favor of utilizing human labor. Wait, then why did I see a construct there? Exactly. If my client did not own any constructs, why did the witness see one there? Or to phrase this question differently, who sent that construct there? Who? Why would anyone send an arcane construct into the refinery? First, let's consider the rarity of arcane constructs. They are highly experimental and not available to the public yet. With all these elements in mind, only one person in the city of Arnex could have done this. Wait, you can't possibly mean every time she says this, I possibly mean it. I do, Miss Steelwind. Few individuals had access to an arcane construct, and even fewer had the ability to disable the locked door without alerting the security system. Who sent the arcane construct? Only one individual could have done everything that I described. Lloyd von Sanctus, the noble lord of Aranax. You can't be serious! Are you accusing Lord von Sanctus of illegally sending a construct into the Arcane refinery? What possible reason would he have to do that? When Rika saw the construct, she said that it was working on the machines. But that construct was sent by Lord von Sanctus. It didn't actually work for Dracagen. Wait, could that mean... Rika, when you saw that construct in the refinery, was it carrying anything? Yeah, actually. It was carrying a large cylindrical machine, and it looked pretty heavy. Like it would normally need to be held by 2 people? Yeah, how did you know? It all makes sense now. Von Sanctus has been far too aggressive in pushing these charges. It wasn't because he was desperate to get rid of Dracagen. It was because he needed to cover up what actually happened. Mr. Cuthbert, where are you going with this? You see, Your Honor, the tool that the witness saw this construct carrying wasn't just any tool. It was a rod of mending, an artificery tool that channels transmutation magic. Transmutation magic? As in, magic that could be used to weaken and sabotage parts of the refinery. No. Are you seriously accusing? Your Honor, Lloyd von Sanctus sent a construct into the Arcane refinery to sabotage it. In other words, Lord von Sanctus is responsible for that guardrail breaking. Took it long enough, Catnip, but he's finally locking in. I think that's enough out of you, you upstart commoner. The judge really needs to stop these guys from just barging onto the stand. To be fair, who's going to stop a noble from a pillar family? I've had enough of these blatant accusations. If you want to sling mud at my name, you will do it to me directly. Lord von Sanctus, I would highly advise against doing this. The last 2 people who pulled this shit with him are in jail, except for the one who got murdered in jail custody. You don't want to do this. I cannot stress enough how much you don't want to do this. Please, do you think I'm like that fool Pierce? The defense's theory is laughable, and I have several pieces of evidence that can easily prove my innocence. He has a good poker face, but the eye is telling you that he's a little desperate. Very well. If the defense wishes to accuse you, I see no harm in allowing you to defend yourself. The court would very much like to hear your testimony on the matter. The fuck happened to Mika? They can only ever show one person on the stand, like any Ace Attorney game. It was kind of funny that Garrick Pierce canonically shoved the other guy out of the way, though. I love Steelwind being like, ah, fuck, here we go again. Can't wait to watch him roast this asshole. It is possible to order a construct to complete a complex list of tasks, but doing so is ill-advised. I'm sure you observed this with the Nightgrave trial. Constructs are extremely prone to error when completing a long list of tasks. According to the defense, the saboteur stole a rod of mending and used it to sabotage very specific sections of the refinery. I would never trust a construct to discreetly complete such an intricate set of tasks unsupervised. And before you ask, I was miles away from the refinery at the time of the accident. I have several associates who can confirm this alibi. Therefore, I had no way of observing this construct from afar, nor did I have any way to communicate with it. Do we think you were like that fool Pierce? No, Pierce was a fiddle. You were a cheap kazoo. Cheap kazoo with a mold in it. Yeah, it actually makes a lot of sense. The Nightgrave trial revealed the risks of ordering a construct to commit a crime. Nevertheless, Rika saw a construct at the refinery that day. That's indisputable. He definitely gave the construct a complex list of tasks to sabotage the refinery, and that raises one question. How did he account for the construct's error-prone logic? I'm gonna try something, chat.
Objection!
Oh, the music stopped. I got it. Von Sanctus, you testified that there was no way for you to observe and communicate with the construct. Am I correct? Yes. I was at that meeting with Steelwind for that meeting with Steelwind for the entire day. Anyone there could testify to that fact. I'm not disputing your so-called alibi.
but it's not as airtight as you might think. What are you talking about? I was there at that meeting, Mr. Cuthbert. Lord Von Sanctus might have been absent in mind, but he was there physically. Absent in mind? So his attention wasn't focused on the meeting, which means that his attention was somewhere else. I suppose you're correct, Miss Steelwind, but I still have one question for you, Lord Von Sanctus.
And what would that be?
Are you able to cast the Send Message spell? What? Miss Steelwind, your client may have been physically at that meeting, but his attention was somewhere else, wasn't it? He could have used a combination of spells to view the construct during the meeting, and he could have used the Send Message spell to communicate with it over a large distance. If my claim is truly false... Truly false! Tyrion, you wanna try that one again? Your client should have no trouble disproving it with his spell compendium.
Well...
Von Sanctus? You appear to be hesitating, Von Sanctus. Can I assume that you do know how to cast Send Message? If so, that would punch a gigantic hole in your alibi.
Steelwind, you were there, weren't you? My attention was fully there. I need her to cover for me. The idea that I was communicating with a construct is absurd.
I'm afraid that I can't say that, Lord Von Sanctus.
Steelwind?
I did find it odd. Your attention appeared to be elsewhere, despite the gravity of our discussion. And I seem to recall you speaking under your breath the entire time. I had always just assumed that you were muttering obscenities. But Mr. Cuthbert's explanation does seem possible.
What are you saying? Aren't you obligated to defend me?
No, that's my job. She's the prosecutor. I am obligated to represent you to the best of my ability. I am not obligated to forge your alibi for you.
You little...
Lord Von Sanctus, I'm afraid the court needs an answer. Are you able to cast the Send Message spell?
Fine. I admit it, okay? I am able to cast Send Message. But that still doesn't prove anything.
His voice betrays a hint of desperation. You have him right where you want him. Now is your opportunity to feel the final blow. So why do you feel so uneasy? There's still two details that don't sit well with you. Rika saw Justin fall over the guardrail, even though Von Sanctus sabotaged it. The second person that fell into the vat is still unaccounted for. Luckily, you don't need to prove that the second person existed, but not having an explanation for Astrid Morson's testimony still irks you. However, even if it's not a clean ending, there's only one way forward. And that's revealing Von Sanctus for the petty saboteur that he is. Why did you hesitate so long to answer my question, Von Sanctus?
You know very well why I hesitated. Why would I willingly give you evidence? You clearly intend to use it against me.
Regardless, this entirely disproves your alibi. You could have communicated with your construct at the meeting.
By that logic, I could be the mastermind behind every crime that occurs in Aranax. Someone else could have sent that construct. I may have had the means to commit that crime, but there are plenty of other individuals that could have sent an arcane construct.
Oh, really? Can you name any? Von Sanctus, you of all people should know that the arcane constructs are not available to the public. When you attempted to sell these constructs to Dracagon, you promised him he would be the first merchant in Arnax that would own one. Since he refused that offer, it would leave you as the only owner of arcane constructs in Aranax.
That's... well, I admit I may not have been that truthful when I made my sales pitch.
So you're saying that you lied to my client?
Oh, please. Every good businessman knows how to embellish the truth when making a sale. I've sold constructs to other individuals. The truth is that I've sold those constructs to plenty of individuals in Aranax.
If only it would be too dangerous to sell to anyone else. Frankly, Von Sanctus, I find that hard to believe. After the Nightgrave trial, you must have been a lot more fearful about who you sold your constructs to. You only tried to sell your constructs to Dracagon so that you could control him. You wouldn't have done that otherwise. Is that so? Then why don't you prove it? No, Von Sanctus. Why don't you prove your statement? Show us any invoice that proves you made a sale to someone in Aranax. Well, who says that the Saboteur lived in Aranax when I made the sale? Are you serious? Aranax is a trading hub. Plenty of people come and go from the city. The Saboteur could be someone who secretly entered Aranax. Any one of my customers could have secretly entered the city to carry out the sabotage. Von Sanctus, you might have been right under any other circumstance, but the Kingsguard locked down the city on the day that the accident occurred. No one except for a select few individuals could have left or entered the city, and due to the gravity of the situation, the Kingsguard created profiles of everyone within the city. So why don't we cross-reference the records taken by the Kingsguard with the list of individuals you've sold constructs to? But I suppose from your reaction, that list would come up empty. So why don't you admit to your crimes, Von Sanctus? Or do I have to drag the evidence to court myself? Wait. Drag the evidence into court? Of course, how could I forget? What? Why don't you go ahead and do that, Mr. Cuthbert? Bring in your so-called evidence. I don't know where this confidence is coming from, but we can easily detect the traces of divination and transmutation on the constructs you own. Assuming that construct still exists, that is. Wait, that's right! If he used a construct to commit a crime like this, he would have definitely disposed of it by now. Even within the blockade, Aranax is a gigantic city. With his resources, he could have hidden it anywhere in the city. It would be a needle hidden within a town of haystacks. We still have the testimony of Masurika Tudor, and I'm sure many other people saw the construct walking around the refinery. Common folk can hardly be trusted to recognize complex artificery. Without the actual construct, all you have are several unreliable witnesses. Lock in Tyrion, you're so right, Catnip. Tell me, Lady Steelwyn, can I be convicted of such a serious charge with such evidence? No, I suppose not. Damn it! Is he seriously going to get away with this? No, you still have one card up your sleeve. If you could just find out where he disposed of the evidence, you might be able to direct the Inquisition there. Come on, focus on his thoughts, Tyrion. You do not need the empowered eye, Tyrion. You just need to lock in. Your undignified glaring will do you no favors. What? Why isn't it working? Oh, well, it's failed. Mr. Morrow was right. You've been relying on the empowered eye too much. From your silence, I assume that you have no way to rebut my claim? Lock in! I suppose that makes it checkmate, you upstart commoner. Honestly, I can't believe you'd resort to accusing me of manslaughter. What a crass and underhanded tactic. But I suppose I wouldn't expect anything less from a charlatan like you. Damn it. What the hell are you doing? What? That look on your face. Are you seriously giving up? I've seen you get out of plenty of situations like this. So why are you giving up this time? I'm sorry, Celeste, but I can't use my usual strategies. There's no way to find the evidence that we need. Seriously? There's always a way, Tyrion. If your usual strategies aren't working, then you just need to do something different. She's right. You don't need to see directly into his mind to utilize your skills as an attorney. You may not be able to rely on the Eye of Horus this time. You've always been able to rely on deductive reasoning. Well, it seems that you have no further questions for me, and you clearly don't have a shred of physical evidence to support your claims. God damn it! I think I'll be taking my leave. I'm not quite done with you yet, Von Sanctus. Honestly, your desperation is almost pitiful. You should really learn to lose with dignity, Mr. Cuthbert. He's the last person you want to hear that from. Calm your mind and focus. You may not be able to read Von Sanctus' mind in the literal sense, but you can still extrapolate his plan and his actions. Let's explore my theory a little more and see for ourselves if there's no physical evidence. If you wanted to use a construct, you would have needed to maintain constant communication. So to prove that this communication occurred, we would need something that connects you to it. Which piece of evidence would connect the murder to Von Sanctus? Spin message can normally only target a person, but arcane constructs probably don't count as people for the purposes of that spell. What piece of evidence would that leave behind?
The object that.
Object that... Von Sanctus... attuned to. An arcane construct isn't a person, so you must have used an object attuned to your magic to communicate with it. Miss Steelwind, if you were able to find that object, would that tie your client to the sabotage? Hypothetically, yes. The Inquisition has divination magic, and they can use it to detect if an object has been attuned to a specific mage. Good luck finding such evidence. If I did perform these acts, those remains could be anywhere in Oranax. I'm not so sure about that, Von Sanctus. Let's look at things from your perspective. Why would you do the things that you did that day? Knowing that will point us to where you ultimately hit the construct. Your intention was to sabotage the refinery without anyone finding out what you did. So how would you dispose of the construct and the attuned item?
Oh, hi, Owl. What did you miss? Well, I mean, you haven't missed me frying his ass, so you're right on time in that sense.
How could Von Sanctus easily destroy the evidence? Wait, destroy?
No fucking shit!
You used the vat of volatile liquid! You suppose that makes sense. You found the remnants of the Rod of Mending in there too. But wouldn't that mean the object is fully dissolved?
Exactly. There would be no physical evidence for you to find.
That's not necessarily true. You threw the Rod of Mending into the vat, and that didn't fully dissolve.
What?
The workers neutralized the liquid immediately after Justin fell into the vat.
What? Neutralizing that liquid would have rendered it unsalvageable and useless. Doing that would have cost Draken a small fortune.
Unlike you, Von Sanctus, my client values the lives of his workers over his profits. And because of that, the Inquisition was able to find the pieces of bone matter and metal within the vat. Wait, the rod didn't fully dissolve. This means it was thrown into the vat around the same time that Justin fell into it. You wouldn't have thrown the rod into the vat until after you were done with your sabotage. If you wanted to destroy the rod, you would have destroyed all of the evidence that you needed to get rid of. What piece of evidence would Von Sanctus also dispose of? You would have also destroyed the arcane construct itself.
That's ridiculous. Lady Steelwind, why aren't you?
I told you before, didn't I? I will defend you to the best of my ability, but I will not fabricate an ally for you. You must have ordered the construct to throw itself into the vat to hide any traces of your sabotage. A machine resembling a human threw itself into the vat. This means that anyone looking at the walkway would have seen this. That's it! The arcane construct was the second person that Aster and Morrison saw fall into the vat. That's why we didn't find organic matter from anyone other than Justin in there. The second body that Aster and Morrison saw was actually an arcane construct.
Fucking finally.
How are you? Wait. Rika was sure that she saw Justin fall off of the walkway. After she notified Aster and Morrison, they saw the construct break the guardrail and fall into the vat. Wouldn't that mean the construct disposed of itself after Justin Way fell off of the walkway? Why would you order it to do that?
Because it never happened! Your logic is flawed!
He's getting stressed out. Maybe you should try using the empowered eye. No, you don't need it this time. You're so close to figuring this out, you can feel it. So think. If he was observing the construct using magic, he must have seen Justin fall. And for some reason, he reacted by sabotaging the guardrail. Why did Von Sanctus sabotage the guardrail? Why would he ignore seeing that happen? Unless he did all of this because he saw Justin fall.
Just checking. Oh, Dracket, fuck me.
It's because you wanted it to look like an accident. Which means that it wasn't actually an accident.
Oh, now you're accusing me of intentionally murdering the victim? Why would I ever do that? You said it yourself, my goal was sabotage. Committing murder would have brought unnecessary attention to what I'd done.
but those constructs do have a habit of shoving people that are in their way. What if the construct pushed Justin out of the way, causing him to fall over the edge of the guardrail? He's figuring out everything that happened from just a few clues? Hey, I didn't see you there. I was just walk past him. Acknowledged. What? Hey, watch it! Quit shoving me! Wait, whoa! Holy crap! Pull me up! I can't hold on for much longer! Oh, you idiot! What are you doing? What? Grab his arm and pull him up! Acknowledged. Ah! My hand! What the hell are you doing? Your grip is too tight! Stop that! Acknowledged. Ah! Wait! I can still... It may have been unintentional, but either way, you would have been at fault for Justin's death, not my client. And if the construct fell in after Justin, your attuned object must be somewhere in the neutralized liquid. No, it's even better than that. Constructs are made from a specific magical alloy, aren't they? I'm sure with a few divination spells, we can identify the metal shards from the construct and your arcane focus. Each and every one of those pieces of evidence points directly at you, Von Sanctus. You petulant little upstarts! And that's checkmate, Von Sanctus. Why don't you save us all a little time, Von Sanctus? Admit to what you did. And while you're at it, drop your false allegations against my client. I have nothing to admit to, nor do I have anything to apologize for. Of course not. You're completely blameless, right? Do you think you've achieved victory here today? No. Dissidents like you and Dracagon are absolutely deluded. Each and every breath you take only throws Wyverngard further into chaos. You talk about these commoners as if they have even a fraction of the power that you have. Lady Steelwind, you need to see reason. They lack awareness of the power they truly have. What? These people have infected you and His Majesty with these idealistic delusions. I implore you, I implore both of you to see reality for what it is. No, Von Sanctus. The true reality is that people like you become threatened when we challenge your power. You all speak about the rights of the individual. You speak as if each and every one of you would stab each other in the back the moment it benefited yourselves. You may hate the nobility. You may curse, scream, and blame us for all your little problems. But the truth is you need us. You need us to direct and lead you. You need us to maintain the fragile order that handles your peaceful little lives together. You talk about protecting the common folk from themselves. But the truth is that your actions led to the death of an innocent man. That is the only truth that matters. The defense has no further questions for the witness. He is dismissed. Very well. We did it again, Tyrion! We even caught another murderer in the process. He's just a capitalist, Catnip. He is not that hard to scientifically engineer. Yeah. We couldn't get the case officially dismissed today, but it's pretty much inevitable with the evidence that we brought in today. Actually, it probably won't even reach that point. I've advised Lord Von Sanctus to drop the suit entirely. Word has already spread regarding the evidence that you brought forward. At this point, prolonging the trial would just harm his public image even more. That's great! Now you can build a case against him for Justin's death. About that. I'll probably be forced to recuse myself from any charges brought against him. What? Why? It's because you represented him in the suit, isn't it? It would be considered a conflict of interest to prosecute him yourself, even though you're probably the only prosecutor that would convict him successfully. You're correct. As the head of one of the Pillar families, he has the justice system dancing in the palm of his hand. He will definitely be quietly and swiftly acquitted. I would have never agreed to represent him if I'd known about this. I'm truly sorry. Damn it. He must have had this planned all along. No. Is he seriously going to get away with this? I wouldn't be so sure about that. Dracagon. He may be acquitted in the legal sense, but the court of public opinion is a different thing entirely. What do you mean? You brought forward a myriad of evidence against him, and I'm sure everyone in the gallery saw it too.
Von Sanctus' power relies on his public image, and you quite handily tore down that facade. He may walk free, but his powers and ideals have taken a great blow. Is that seriously all we could do? His actions and recklessness resulted in the death of Justin Lay. He should be punished within the letter of the law. You're not wrong, Mr. Cuthbert. But sometimes we must take the victories that we can get. She's probably right. There's still one thing that's nagging at me. What's that? Why was your safe unlocked if nothing was stolen? If Justin had gotten into your safe, he would have taken your gold with him. It wouldn't still be there. Considering that nothing is missing, I'd rather leave it at that. Really? Justin was a good man. I'd rather not taint anyone's memory of him. Especially Masurika's. Right. She was pretty upset about your accusations. Maybe we can ask Aster to nicely lean on the other prosecutor? You would not dare undo the work that my little Blorbo put into getting this man convicted, would you? Are you going to sit there and get an innocent man, or get a guilty man off because he's rich? You'll do this in front of the Crown Prince? I'll eat you. I'll say it again. I'll eat you. Right. She was pretty upset about your accusations. Nothing was taken, so no harm was done in that regard. I suppose so. But I can't help but wonder what actually happened. Episode end. So. Oh shit! I still love that the Crown Prince is a superfan. Me too. I was very excited to see what the post-chapter thing would be, and I was not ready for it to be the Eye Taker. It just makes no damn sense to me. The kid successfully robbed the guy days ago. No one saw him. No one even suspected him. Then he breaks into the place again? Also, he could put back the stolen gold? Does this make any sense to you, Eris? Perhaps he felt remorse for his actions, Father. Not everyone can betray the people they love so easily. And if that's true, I feel as if there's a sense of tragic beauty to it all. If he had never tried to do the right thing, he would have never encountered the construct in the first place. He would have paid his debt, and he would still have his life. It's true what they say. No good deed goes unpunished. It's a shame about the gold, though. I think we've more than made a profit today. I, for one, am happy to have claimed a boatload of tithes today. I take her. I take her. I take her. I knew that was related to the Eye of Horus. I knew Eris was in town and fucking with us. I did not connect them. Do not do that, Halerin. We will not be starting the next case today. We are at a good stopping point. And I usually end my streams in like 30 minutes anyway. So I don't really see the point in starting a new trial at this moment. However, we are now halfway through the game. 2 more cases to go. Holy shit! I did not look at the titles on purpose, Halerin. I would like to propose a theory. What if the Eye Taker has two eyes, and one of them belongs to a Cuthbert? Because we know for a fact there were two Cuthberts with the Eye of Horus. And Eris has expressed interest in us before. So what if the Eye Taker also has the Eye of Horus? Want to read the latest OTIF chapter on stream before ending? No. I wonder if he gave it to Eris? No, she has two purple eyes. She is the opposite eye to us. Two more cases. Holy shit. But yeah, I think I'm gonna end the stream here and marinate on that for another week. I'll see you all next week for the start of Chapter 4. That was Tyrion Cuthbert, Attorney of the Arcane. This has been Days Verve. I'll see you all then.